Welcome our next reader, Taylor. Born on the train tracks of the Northeast Pennsylvania, our next poet is here to spew vomit and glitter on your issues with authority, take a shit on your nostalgia, and hold your hand. Let them. They're a letter to the editor carved into a gravestone, a burning effigy at a spaghetti dinner. They are known to many as hot trash. Please welcome Taylor M. Silvestri.
The last time I got drunk with my mother, I had to drive us home in a state I never lived, on roads I never drove. Back to her and her fiance's house, it looks pretty colonial, I told her. The first time she showed me pictures of it on her cell phone, she grew up 3 blocks away from my house that isn't my house anymore. We could walk 2 blocks to church every Sunday during the years I hated her. I called her a Tommy to her face, so she slapped it sometimes. You get what you give, she told me. So when I graduated high school, she couldn't wait to get out of Dodge. The house was packed. A week before she drove me to freshman orientation at a college I wasn't impressed with at first, but she told me, "This is it. I see you here." And I didn't want to believe she'd be right about something again. She can see ghosts, has premonitions, and some nights we have the same dreams. 2 years ago, when I got sucked into the vacuum of a man her age, she told me she wouldn't be surprised if I ever brought home a man decades older than me, that men my age aren't ready for me yet. I didn't ask her what if it was a woman. I didn't ask her if she knew there are more than 2 genders or if she knew I was neither. But then she said she saw me falling backwards in love with someone once I hit my 50s, like I'll make it until 50. As if I hadn't already made a habit of offering myself up to the earth's axis, begging it to crumble, hoping one day I might go to the center and sing it to sleep. Mom wants to move back home, and she says it's because Pop-Up's dying, but I know better. Maryland is just neighborhoods of strip malls shoved next to farmland. Nobody knows her name there. She can't go to the mechanic and get it all done for free. She can't go to high school reunions every other day at the bank, at the grocery store, at the car wash, at dinner, at church. There's no church. Mom says she sees me in Washington, in Colorado, in Oregon, but I want to live in big sky country when I'm older. I've slept under mountains my whole life. I want my horizon to be as far away as possible. Minnesota, Montana, Nebraska, hay bales. But I see myself in Maryland, living in her upstairs, driving us home like this every weekend, promising to make her food when we get back, pouring her 3 glasses of water and sending them all down at once, smiling because there's nothing left to do, punching myself because I'm 40 minutes away from Baltimore but couldn't manage to move there the same time all my college friends did. Watching Mom's cats run around the kitchen at 2 a.m. and they still won't let me touch them. Last time I went out with my mom, I had to drive us home in a state I'll live eventually, on roads I'll get to know. As I ate her leftovers, before we went upstairs, she tight-roped over to me and my sister, slammed her open palms on the table and burped out, "Girls, if it's one thing you need to know, it's that you can be whatever the fuck you want." Hello, my name is Taylor M. Silvestri. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. Against all my better judgment, I'm going to read these next 3 poems. They go together. They're friendly. This one's called "I Hate People's Hands or Mouth on My Neck or near my ears, but I love my hands on theirs," or "Returning to Burlington after 7 months gone." After 4 years, we took off our poker faces and kissed on the mouth the way friends do. Kissing might be platonic for me, but there's still very few people's mouths I'd want on my mouth. I don't know what the word platonic really means. Sometimes, when I meet a person for the first time, my body forces itself into myself, says, "It's good to see you again." My mother sees the dead, and I can read the living better than anyone I know. We are witches. This is the right thing to do. You putting on my lipstick and me sharpening the edges. I have never felt so purple, and I cried the way new friends do when they share themselves completely. The first time we met, you read poems exclusively about cats. I am grateful only to have known you as your post-Dublin self. There is a part of me, and there is all of me. Don't move to Boston. It's just a bunch of angry people who love baseball. Every person I've ever loved who moved there has been turned into astronaut food, shrink-wrapped and freeze-dried and dehydrated, and I want you to walk barefoot 15 blocks home in the rain like you do now with joy, soaking in through the cracks of your callus everything you've ever wanted to make yourself whole for the rest of your life, no matter where. Give me your address. I am sending you my favorite shade of shadow. It is golden. On my second to last morning in Dorchester before I leave for the Rockies in a house where at 5 of 10 everyone's still sleeping, I sift through O'Hara poems that make my point better than I do, that talk about love the way I would if I loved the way he does, and if that love included romance, included sex, which it doesn't, which is why I am sending them to you. This next poem in this series of 3 is called Reading the Opening Poem of Your Forthcoming Manuscript. I am crying before 8 a.m., unshowered, still naked. It's dry out here. I wake up caked in nosebleed. I do my pillowcases every morning in the kitchen sink with baking soda and vanilla extract in hopes my bed might smell more like our kitchen, thinking at least I'm not waking up in Vermont swamp every morning, even if it means 2,400 miles in between. We are more of each other now than we have ever been, bearded and lipsticked and wholly without gender, hoping to one day be our entire selves, getting closer, swapping shadows, molding wax. Tell me what part of you I am missing. Tell me what part of me I am missing. I will grow it. I will hold my hands above it like streetlights. I will stomp the ground. I will ground myself. I will be grounded. I will hydrate and moisturize, and I will still do my pillowcases every morning and feel okay about it sometimes. It is not as miserable out here as I make it seem. The other week, someone called my poems intimate, and that was new. The blood tastes good enough like blood. I am glad to be bleeding from somewhere. I will take whatever space I can find with the both of us in it. I am clearing my sock drawer for you since I heard you don't have one back east. I am doing the laundry. I am spraying down the windows with garlic and rosemary water. I am welcoming the light for you. Come out west. Sleep in my bed. I will take the floor. And this last mistake is called Upon Discovering You Got a Job in Boston Working with Toddlers. I hope they let you wear nail polish at school. I have a big bag in the drawer of my nightstand with at least a dozen different colors. It is right, you working with 3-year-olds. I am sorry I asked you to come out here knowing full well what I've gotten myself into. I'm sorry for not knowing the difference between hating it here or hating you not being here. Either way, I don't make enough money. I don't hate it here. I hope you don't have to tell anyone that the kids painted your nails in defense. I want to be the one who paints your nails. I want to roll around in mud and get washed off by thunderstorm on the sidewalk of Loomis Avenue in Burlington, Vermont, you and me and the whole lot of us. Moving back east sounds a lot like gray, like sharp, like stick season, like smooth dirt, snow, mush on the staircase. For 3 months this summer, I was more hopeful than I've ever been. I hear that even though it snows here, there's never any clouds and we're closer to the sun, so wearing sunglasses in the winter is pretty normal. The sun here is not normal. Me without my hands in your beard is not normal. Next time I see you, read me a cat poem. Read me anything. Tell me you'll never live in Boston again, and I will tell you I will leave the Rockies for good. So I guess if you couldn't tell, I'm not really from here. I guess I'm trying to be from here, or I don't know. I moved out here in July. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and then for 4 years, Burlington, Vermont. I'm not really from Scranton. I'm from a place like 5 minutes outside of it. But everyone knows Scranton because The Office, so I'm from Scranton. This is a poem about kissing girls. My hair got too damn long, she yells. I've got to cut this. Her nails, bit past the quick, touch her would-be split ends that hang below her ears. I want to put my mouth on her mouth. She sits, 6 shoulders away from me on a faux leather L-shaped couch. That's too many shoulders to do the I can count shoulders trick in order to get my arm around her. That's too many shoulders to put my mouth on her mouth. But only if she wants me to put mine on hers. The last girl that kissed me without asking in a heavy metal pub in Dublin's north side in front of everyone for no reason. It shouldn't go down like that. Next time a girl kisses me, I want her to start and I want her to ask me and I want us to ask each other. Sometimes I think about becoming one of those people auditioning for the colonization of Mars. Sometimes I think about concealing a shotgun up my ass so once we touch down, I can just kill everyone that came up with me. So I'll be the king of Mars. And when the time comes, kill myself. It'll be broadcast on national television. Sometimes I think about my mouth on her mouth. Last Sunday, I woke up at 10:30 a.m. and cooked myself breakfast but didn't eat it. I even cooked the eggs and some leftover bacon fat. I woke up again at 2 p.m., showered, and went back to bed. Waste everything, want everything. I left my room at 4 p.m. and started my car at 4:05. I thought about makeup as self-care. I thought about sitting on the ground with my legs splayed east and west, and I think about her mouth on my mouth. This is my last one. Thanks for paying attention to me, because I need it. Are you okay? Okay. I just want you to be okay. This one is called Letter to Myself 5 years ago on the day I leave for college. Taylor. 1. Stick season in Vermont is the season between fall and winter. Your school's motto is Ade Armis. Those are the first 2 things you'll learn in college. 2. In about a year, the man you'll think is a tree house you never had as a kid won't be a tree house. He won't even be a twig. You are not obligated to share a cigarette with him every time he asks, when he points out all the times you've jumped in front of trains to save him, when he points out how he too has been sexually assaulted, when he attempts to liken himself to you in that way. Do not take it as contrition for him ripping you out of your body for 2 years. You deserve the gift of human life. He believes people walk around permanently broken. When he tells you this, spit back at him a list, a bullet for each person who ever broke you, and a tick mark for how many times. Staple it to his wrinkled temples and ask him, do I look broken? When he looks at you slack-jawed and well-eyed like he can't believe you don't share his brokenness, take it as a point of pride. Do not break yourself for him. Do not break yourself for anyone. Do not think you are somehow less authentic because you don't buy his nihilist bullshit. You don't have to be a nihilist to write good. You don't even need to use proper English. Proper English is a racist, ableist, and classist way of putting it anyway. Do not look up the dictionary definition of racism, Taylor. White men write the dictionary. 3. Don't convince yourself that it's okay Burlington doesn't have any Italian delis. 4. Dublin will hold you the way you wish Burlington did. You will tell people for the rest of your life how those 4 months were the only good ones. Don't be surprised to see cows when you touch down in Dublin. You will always be surrounded by cows. Drink as much milk over there as you can, because when you come back, all you'll be able to taste are the hormones switched to almond milk. Be pissed about it. 5. You don't need to be friends with everyone. 6. On your last spring break, you will finally tell Dad how little you need him, and how little of a person he is, and how little you are grateful for any money he's ever given you. The biggest lie he ever told is not that he's been sober for 15 years. The biggest lie he ever told is how proud of you he was, is how in order for you to have a life to be proud of, you need his money to get there. Liars make the worst fathers. 7. You will lose the last poem you wrote of your college career and the one you think the most important, but it's okay. The people that needed to hear it heard it. It wasn't a poem for you in the first place. None of your poems are ever for you except maybe this one. There are still plenty of chances to say exactly what you mean. 8. The last thing you'll learn in college is that friends make the best fathers. They will hold you and feed you and plant you gardens and write poems for you and give you permission to skip class. They will watch a live feed of One Direction and drink box wine with you for 8 hours straight. They will buy you dinner and take you to the emergency room 3 separate times in 4 years, and they will spit in your enemy's drinks without thinking twice. When you're so panicked that you can't leave your car, they will walk into their driveway with a 4-week-old kitten in their arms, climb into your passenger seat, and pull that kitten on your chest, and it will fall asleep somewhere between your shirt, and you will feel so small and so powerful. 9. On your last Saturday in Burlington, 5 months too late, go hard at the bar even though you've been sick for a week. Alcohol kills germs. When you leave for good, don't drive by everyone's old apartments. Other people's poems have taught you that a house is not a person and vice versa. Do not blast hanging around by the county crows on your way out of town the way you did when you busted out of Pennsylvania. I give you full permission to never be spiteful again. 10. Cry when you drive through that rift in Route 7 where you can see the Champlain Islands right perfect. Don't cry when you walk into your mother's house. Kiss your mother. Make sure you take your shoes off. Ask her to make popcorn. Watch a horrible movie. Mothers make the best fathers. You are your best father. You are far more important than you ever thought. I owe you so much. I love you wholly. Thank you.